and welcome everybody here on HeflaTV. My name is HeflaMore. Casting with me is Mr. Michael Loris, and we are here in Dota League Season 3 Division 2 Europe. And Willy meets, and now I have to ask you, how good is your French?
It's Cafeteria Fraiche.
Fresh, right? Yeah,
yes.
It's fresh. I didn't want to make any mistake there, so I'm just asking for the expert.
I actually do speak a little bit of French, so...
French is the only language I never learned. Like, I know approximately 20 languages, 21 actually, but French...
How did French slip through 21?
No, because I hate French. Like, I just hate it.
Understandable.
It's... I hate those languages that never pronounce things as they are written. And I don't know, for that reason. I mean, I still know basic French. Like, I could probably even go shopping, but... yeah. Either way, let's hop here into draft and let's see how it goes. I mean, in the chat, some people already said that Willy is the favorite. Also on the betting side, Willy is listed as the favorite with more percentage. For me, the Cafeteria guys, absolutely new. It's the first time I see them in jDL. It's also the first game they play in the Division 2 here in the jDL. So let's see how they are there. Like, one user actually said Baron is his brother. So I'm looking forward to that. And he has... Oh, did you see that, by the way? He has the old Dota 1 Mirana logo. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, and then Pelican right below him has the Bubbles logo from Heroes of New Earth. The synergy right there is huge.
Absolutely. But let's focus on the draft, because we're already in the second picks here.
Yeah, we got Skywrath Mage going along with the Tide Hunter. Going to be the first two picks from the Willy side. It's not as common as Skywrath Mage faces Void. The Ravage setup for the Mystic Flare is not as good as Chronosphere, but it's still pretty serviceable. And Cafeteria Fraiche, Brewmaster as well as Doom. Brewmaster into Skywrath. What do you think about this?
I don't know. Like, it's pretty cool for the fact that you don't have Death Silence against the Brewmaster, but then again you have the Skywrath Mage already on the other side. So it's kind of a weird combo, because as a Brewmaster, the worst thing that can happen to you is a silence. The form of silence, it doesn't even matter. Like, I mean, the Seal, the Doom, Orchid, or anything else is always bad news. But, okay, they have the Skywrath Mage. Then again, the Doom against the Tide is also something we have to, I don't know, take in consideration, because so far the Tide will be pretty much a central hero with the Ravage.
Yeah, these silence pickups are pretty much just placing more emphasis on those heroes wielding the silences. The Doom, the Skywrath Mage are going to have to be on point. If a Brewmaster gets split off, the difference between that and a fight where he doesn't is night and day. Like, that's a winnable fight if you get a silence off. Sometimes it's not a winnable fight if you can't. So Skywrath Mage is going to be have to have good positioning and be fast with his fingers to make sure that the enemy's skills don't come out at the right time. But it looks like the series of supports going to be banned out. Shadow Shaman, Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker, Naga Siren, not always a support, but also going to take the hit here.
Yep, I just have to close the door behind me, because that stupid festival is playing again the music so loud that Hefla has to close the doors. Well, it's goddamn 35, no, 30, wait, 37 Celsius. Yes, it's awesome here today. I'm sweating my ass off, literally. This is the day.
That's concerning.
This is the day when you regret that you have a leather casting chair here, because it's like a bathtub after an hour game. It's very comfortable. You're swimming in your own soup.
That sounds extremely pleasant.
Yes, very much. And I share it with the world, I don't care. Either way, back to the draft. The second one stage is through here. We have the Earthshaker out and the Naga. The Naga I didn't expect at all. And on the other side, okay, Master Open Water out, big ultimate there, of course, as well as some burst for the laning stage, or harass for the laning stage rather than burst later when it's 4 points in the Ether Shock, but no Ice Blast as well. Like, they don't want to see this, even though Ancient Apparition, I don't know, lost kind of popularity as of late.
Yeah, I mean, Ancient Apparition does need the proper environment to really do well, especially in the early stages. If you have a whole bunch of melee heroes, then Chilling Touch gets a lot worse, so... I mean, they already have themselves 2 melee heroes, so maybe that's a little bit too much. But regardless, Willy are going to respect that hero's potential to get kills where normally kills would not happen. And Cafeteria Fraiche with the Nature's Prophet pick in response to the Viper. So there's a little bit of pushing now on the Cafeteria Fraiche side, but still only with the Nature's Prophet. It's not too substantial just yet.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, okay, we have some split push coming out now. For Willy, it seems like they want to go for a team fighting setup. Like, no pushing potential right now there. The Viper is gonna tank it up as well as the Titan. The two targets that are relatively hard to get down. The Scarab Mage, of course, is a squishy hero as such, but he will pretty much provide the silence and the magical nuke we have there. I mean, the combination of, for example, even a Tidehunter like Gush plus Arcane Bolts, the Concussive Shot, and this all adds up. Like, even Tidehunter Scarab Mage is a nasty combo to go against, because a double slow and a lot of damage coming that way. But Tidehunter is going to be in the offlane, and we have to see if chiliwilly is rotating him instantly into the other lanes once he's level 6. And then starting to ravage through.
I'm assuming the lane is going to end up being a Tidehunter versus a Nature's Prophet lane for, it doesn't matter which lane they go to, really. But in that scenario, Tidehunter isn't going to be under the most of pressure, so he could realistically stick around for a little while longer, anchor smash the lane, keep it controlled, and try to get himself a quick Blink Dagger, because Nature's Prophet can't really do anything to stop the Tidehunter, and more than likely, Nature's Prophet is going to be the first one to leave the lane, seeing as though he does have that teleportation skill.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, look at this. Morphling is coming out. The liquid guy that wants a lot of farm, a ton of farm actually, that pushes the Viper pretty much in the mid, Tidehunter off lane, and then we have the Morphling on the safe lane. Or maybe they go even for aggressive tries, let's see. But yeah, Morphling needs quite some babysitting. But yeah, this is a heavy fighting combo. This is a really heavy fighting lineup for chiliwilly. They're not interested in crazy pushes whatsoever. They just want to get those cores and those tanky heroes up, and then the Morphling shall do the rest. Then again, it's kind of risky, because a Morphling getting caught out, for example, by a Doom with very low HP, that is a problem, of course. The same goes now that we have an Enigma. We also have a huge black hole. We have Split Push already coming, and the Brewmaster with a Primal Split. I like Cafeteria's draft a tiny bit more because it's more versatile.
Yeah, the Enigma pick definitely got a lot worse with this Enigma pickup from Cafeteria Fraiche. Before that, they had the Doom to shut down the Morphling, and that's pretty much it. Potentially a later game Orchid from Nature's Prophet. Now that they have the Black Hole, Morphling's going to really struggle, or a little bit more, to get out of situations which ordinarily should be free escapes. He's got to get that Replicate out, the Strength Morph, the Waveform, and Cafeteria Fraiche, now they have a couple stuns and a couple silences to actually kind of deal with it. So Morphling, if chiliwilly do want to go for early game Death Ball, which with the Tidehunter, Viper, Skywrath Mage pick, it would kind of indicate, the Morphling's got to be a little bit more careful, or Skywrath Mage has got to have a couple of fast hands to deal with those silences.
Yep, absolutely. And well, I'm just looking at the Enigma at the moment, and I'm trying to, you know, have that scenario, him actually casting something. The problem is we have Adaptive Strike, we have Ravage, and we have a Silence on Skywrath Mage. You already mentioned a couple of interrupts, and this is 3 out of 4 heroes already that can interrupt the Enigma, unless they're, of course, in the Black Hole themselves. So I'm kind of worried that this Enigma definitely needs a BKB rushed. Otherwise, he's not going to be happy, because then we just see the shortest black holes on the planet. Either way, third ban stage is through, and 2 supports are actually getting banned out. One of them pretty interesting, having the Train Protector out, something I didn't expect. We had that topic yesterday already. We've been casting a Train Protector, and I already expressed my feelings about the Train Protector. But yesterday, it actually proved me wrong, because it was a very useful hero there. Then again, they had a nice start off, I have to say that as well. But the Rubik on the other side, okay, I totally understand the Rubik. Like, stealing Primal Split, stealing Black Hole, stealing Doom, these are all things a Rubik can easily do, because a Doom is easy to steal. The Primal Split, you have to be fast with it, and you have to survive the Primal Split, but then it's also relatively easy to steal. And of course, Enigma, stealing that Black Hole is absolutely a must-have for every good Rubik player. So banning him out is for me really a logical step.
I don't really get why chiliwilly would ban out the Treant. I think even for their lineup, Treant would have been fantastic. When you have a Morphling and a Viper and a Skywrath Mage to set up for, you know, a little bit more beatdown, the Treant would have done fantastically for them, especially since they're going to be pushed a little bit. Enigma, Nature's Prophet. Now, the Sand King pickup is, I would say, a little bit better. I mean, he's definitely a serviceable hero. There's no two ways about that. He has an AoE now, and that's something that chiliwilly were lacking a little bit when they're going to be pushed by Treants as well as Eidolons. And going back to your Enigma point, yes, a BKB early on would certainly be nice, especially with the Sand King pickup. They could just be looking to push early on with the Eidolons and with the Treants. And in that regard, Enigma going for a mech might be what they want to do, and just try to get some towers down, and then propel Enigma into that Blink Dagger / BKB.
Yeah. But it's pretty interesting. Like I don't know if you've seen it in the last. I'd say this is a development that's taken place already in the past 3 weeks or so. Enigmas don't go for blink daggers anymore. Like I think if you look at the stats, like we are down to like 20% of the Enigmas building blink dagger as second, third, or fourth item. Like it's really late. Some of them even skip it, and that's quite interesting to be honest. Either way, Hefla must not forget the overlay today. There we go. In-game overlay on, stats on, and we're looking at the teams. Cafeteria Fraiche. I'm gonna introduce those guys. Let's see if I actually can pronounce them all right. We have Black Dynamite here on the Witch Dog with an awesome set, by the way. Oh god, I have to show this. Look at this. It's a snake around his head. I need this item, since I'm also like a very enthusiast when it comes to look at it go. Either way, in the offlane we're gonna see, or actually no, he's just gonna take, of course, one creep denied here with the demonic conversion. But yeah, we have clinch on the Enigma. In the mid we're gonna find SMN, smiley face, on the Brewmaster. Offlaner will of course be the Pelican, or Pelican. How do you probably say that in English? Pelican?
I have no idea. He's a stand-in. I think we could just go with Pelican.
Pelican, yeah, but it's still like a English A. Like, I mean, it's an animal, obviously, but
yeah, I mean,
so
yeah,
Pelican.
Pelican.
Yeah. Either way, and in the safe lane, the last one, Baron on the Doom, and of course, last but not least, no, actually, I already had the Witch Dog, so I'm done from my side. I'm just confused as usual.
Okay, on the Chili Willy side, we have Dante playing the Tide Hunter. Looks like he will go on to the top lane, no surprises there. Supporting on the bottom lane, Matori is going to be playing the Sand King, and Ralphie is going to be on the Skywrath Mage. They'll be protecting Tokasan on his Morphling, and Keitora is going to be on the mid lane Viper. Will match up against that Brewmaster. Going back to the Blink Dagger point they made earlier, I think you hit it on the head earlier when you said they have so many interrupts, the Chili Willy side. With Ravage being really popular, with Skywrath Mage, Silence being really popular, positioning is, you know, it's always important for Enigma players, but it's less important when the enemy has stuns and slows and silences that could hit you no matter what. So BKB, mech, usually a little bit more important for that hero, at least nowadays.
Who do you think is gonna be the mech carrier on for the Cafeteria guys? Like, is it gonna be the Enigma because he just has a superior farm at the start, or do we maybe see sometimes we see a Doom picking it up, or even Furion for that matter? These are all options. But talking about the Furion, they're already going in. There's a haste run on him. Like, if they get the stun off, this might actually be interesting. There's all the right clicks, and this should be it. The haste run, making sure he's getting all that, but oh my god, it's not enough. He's getting too much tower hits. Like the last one is bringing him even down to 30%, 30% I say, 30 HP, and Pelican is surviving this.
Trying to dive with the Skywrath Mage, having that base 0 armor is always a little bit difficult. Unfortunately, for the two supports, Morphling was only level 1, didn't have any points in waveform, so he was way too far away to contribute. Waveform over the top, that would have easily sealed the deal there. Mech carrier, I think it's just got to be the Enigma. Nature's Prophet isn't getting anything in this lane, so if you say Nature's Prophet, you get the mech, he's not going to have it for a very long time. And though Doom can get the mech, I feel like he could go for certainly more useful items. Meantime, top lane, Dante will be hit with the cask, but Anchor Smash plus that 1-point Kraken Shell is going to keep him safe from this, right now, dual lane from Cafeteria Fraiche.
Like he's pretty tanky, but of course against Scorched Earth, for example, you don't want to stand in it because it's not getting blocked, obviously. And the cask we saw, it was only a level 1, but still, I mean, they got him pretty much down to 50%. It wasn't dangerous at all. We also have to see what that Witch Dog is going for. At the moment, it's a Voodoo Restoration build. It's not going in Maledict. There's some Witch Dogs still out there who go for a Maledict build. Sometimes it works out, sometimes you're like, okay, that Maledict really didn't achieve anything. He should have been in Voodoo Restoration just because it's such a mana efficient spell. Like the healing you get off the spell compared to the mana used, it's just crazy. In the mid, well, we're gonna see some Viper harass typically coming out by the Brewmaster, but then again, there's so many misses, of course. Drunken Haze, 1 point, just spammed on the Viper non-stop, so yep, he, I never know what Viper actually is. Got a hard time.
I think we could assume it's an it, and then we'll be pretty safe. But going back to the Witch Doctor, the Maledict point would certainly, the Maledict build would certainly be a lot better if they didn't have a jungling Enigma, and if they didn't have Doom in the lane. If they had heroes that could do damage early on, then Malefic obviously gets a lot better. But as it stands right now, going aggressive against a Tide Hunter is going to be very, very difficult to do, as mid lane trades a couple more harassment hits. But yeah, Witch Doctor's healing is definitely going to be getting some usage, whereas Maledict would be utterly useless against a lane where they can't put any damage on that Tide Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. Like in this case, I totally agree that at least level 1 Voodoo Restoration should come out, like just for the sustain. Even though the Doom is one of those heroes who doesn't really need it, but now in the mid, like this is something I always considered a tiny bit overpowered. That the Brewmaster Illusions get the Drunken Brawler guaranteed crit as well. So when you actually spawn them, the first thing they do is they just crit your face, and yes, of course, there is reduction on it, of course, because they're illusions, but still, it hurts. Like, it hurts and it sums up, of course.
Kaitora is not exactly doing as well in the lane as I would have thought versus the Brewmaster. Brewmaster with that early point in Drunken Haze, I didn't see if it was a level 1 Drunken Haze. It's something that we often do see from Brewmasters, but he's spamming the hell out of it versus the Viper, and that means poison attacks are going to be a little bit more costly for the Viper, and Viper's actually going to go for a maxed corrosive skin build versus this Brewmaster. I think he definitely could have gotten away with going a little bit more aggressive, get more Nether Toxin and or get more poison attack, leave corrosive skin level 1 just for value.
Because poison attack level 1 is relatively weak, especially because your own movement speed is relatively weak, but there was a haste rune, but no, he doesn't want to go for that SK, like just in case he could still help himself just with the Sandstorm, so that's of course not an option. But in the mid it actually might be interesting, like having some harass before there, and then going in with a haste rune, maybe the ultimate, he's not that far away, he needs like 2 creep waves, then he's level 6. Until then, he should be fine and holding up to that haste rune. So yeah, we might actually see that happening. But Dante top, he's out of regeneration, which means he's getting now a bit pushed out of the lane, at least after this creep wave. And let's see, we have to compare how the farmers are actually doing, like the real farmers. At the moment we have a 25 and 10 Morphling versus a Doom 22 and 5. So they're doing fairly okay, both. And in the mid, well, the Brewmaster is on 16 and 6, and the Viper on 19 and 13. Then again, the Viper never left for a rune, while the Brewmaster did, so that's why he has a bit less XP and a bit less CS. So also fairly even, considering that the Brewmaster will eventually get a bonus from all these runes. Plus he can, of course, stay in lane with the bottle.
Doombringer is going to be going for a quick hand of Midas, so between that and Doom,
look at it, this might be a lot of gold. First blood, yes it is, the Morphling is getting the last hit in there. That was beautiful. He was just shown a bit in front of his tower, and he got, yeah, punished for it immediately.
And Nature's Prophet definitely vulnerable in this lane. Waveform and Skywrath Mage, or Morphling Skywrath Mage, really a pretty deadly 2-hero combo. We see a little bit of a gank attempt going on in the mid lane. Malphus to start things off. Hasten will be popped with the clap. Brewmaster, though, literally 1 experience point away from level 6. And Clinch, channeling the Black Hole within tower range, is going to die. That Corrosive Skin providing some serious value. Here comes the rest of the Chili Willy side. They will turn it around and get the kill on the Brewmaster. It's a 2 for 0 as the gankers become the gankies.
That was really a horrible engagement here by the Cafeteria guys, because the Enigma was under the attack of the tower. That might have been okay if not for the Viper Strike coming out on him before that. So he was already low by Soaring, Viper Strike plus the tower, so that wasn't even the full duration of the Black Hole. And the Brewmaster, crucial mistake, using the Thunderclap in the haze and not having enough mana then for the emergency split. So him going down as well, also a big mistake by the top. No, we don't have a go. The Doom is not even 6 yet. He's gonna ding with the next creep. Yes, now we have the Doom available, if he had mana.
Yeah, when the start of that fight happened in the middle lane, Brewmaster was still level 5, and I think they didn't exactly calculate for that. They expected Brewmaster to be level 6, get the split off, and then, you know, have a lot of things going towards the Viper. Of course, Viper with 4 points of Corrosive Skin, keep him pretty safe due to the from the immolation from the rock and stuff like that. So I don't know if it would have made a huge difference, but it certainly would have put a little bit less pressure on the Enigma, and he might have survived if the Brewmaster got his split off, just because of the way the pressure works.
Yep, absolutely. But this leaves us Chili Willy with like a free kill advantage here, so the laning is going fairly okay. I mean, not just okay, actually it's going quite well. Because we already compared the CS, and of course, except for the Enigma and the Doom, like the rest is pretty much locked down. Whoa, but top, there we have a go. There's the Doom, there's the stun, everything at the moment on the Titan, the plus even the Maledict, he's gonna go down, but is there any return? No, but we have a deny. Now the Viper though, rotating in, and there's no Scorched Earth on the Doom. Viper Strike is coming out. This should be enough to get him down slowly but steadily. Maybe the Skywrath Mage is gonna get a return. Yes, he's going down, but the Viper, he's gonna finish off that Doom. Yes, there we go, but yeah, now they really want to know it, but still, The Witch Dog too low. Voodoo Restoration won't help him here. He has no TP, unfortunately. There should be a stun pretty much soon. They go in the right direction. They have vision. So there's the stun, and that should bring them, or maybe in range for a catch-up with this level 4 Corrosive Skin. It's really, really awkward now. Even Eidolon's following him, but what is he doing there? There's the Ravage, and they try to turn it around. 2 kills, the Brewmaster, he's gonna get the Viper for sure. There it is. Thunderclap there, and now Dante, he has to run. I mean, Kraken Shell still there. Now, of course, the Anchor Smash reducing Panda's damage at least, but of course, Scorched Earth. There will be one little stun, of course, and the Maledict. This should be it, even though they're slowed now by the Skywrath Mage. They're all still trying on the Brewmaster. There's the Gush. More Anchor Smash to come, but Skywrath Mage focusing on the wrong target. He doesn't get that through, but is there another Anchor Smash? I can't even believe it. He's still alive. That last Arcane Bolt, it's not enough. Is there a Gush? There will be a Gush if he goes around the corner. He gets that kill, but he has to die for it. That's pretty much his fate. What a fight. What a turnaround. What kiting was going on here.
I think the most impressive thing about that fight was that Chili Willy, well, first of all, Viper lived forever. Tidehunter lives forever. Sand King wasn't anywhere near that fight. Morphling was chilling on the bottom lane the entire time. And Cafeteria Fraiche, they had every single hero up there, and they were fighting their hearts out, but they just barely managed to take some kills. They couldn't kill the Viper, they couldn't kill the Tide. In the meantime, Sand King, he's well on his way to his Blink Dagger, only 600 away from that. Morphling has been pushing, and now will take the bottom tier 1 tower. Although Cafeteria Fraiche get the tower of their own, that didn't go too well for them, considering the numbers advantage that they had.
Yep, absolutely. They had the number advantage and they didn't really make anything out of it. I mean, getting that tier 1 tower is, I don't know, some sort of recuperation after this event, but then again, the Morphling, like, we can definitely call this space created. He's gonna go for a Linken's, which is, I guess, the best choice, but oh, look at it, he just got doomed, and now, of course, Nature's Prophet coming in. There's no way for him, of course, to wait for him. He's silenced, and it's all about the right clicks. There we go, it should be enough. Yes, the last one coming out by the Doom, and yeah, even Skywrath Mage, you gotta be careful with Enigma there. Your 600 HP, they're not too impressive. And I think the Cafeteria guys, they say like, hey guys, we are behind. The laning stage wasn't too impressive. Let's go, let's push. Let's make this a death ball and let's see if Chili really answers.
Chili Willy don't really have the AoE to answer just yet. Sand King, though, does have his Blink Dagger whenever it wants to fly out to him. They have level 4 in the Eidolons, the Cafeteria Fraiche boys, and they have level 4 Nature's Call. With the Ring of Basilius on, they should be able to secure this tower relatively stress-free. SMN is going to get Viper struck in the mid lane. He probably should be fine, although Viper's doing a lot of damage. He will take this kill, although no, there's the split. Baited into the tower range, the tower shots, plus the boulder onto Kaitora. But still, he has a mech. No kills will happen in this mid lane. As the bottom lane tower does get destroyed, they're going to go for more.
Yep, absolutely. They have now the pressure. Look at this, so many Eidolons, like a double Treant Wave, even though the first one is about to die. But still, like, I think they could go for more here. But now, of course, Chili Willy, they grouped up here. The Morphling is there as well. And, I don't know, an Ancient Seal combination with a Waveform. And maybe even more to come, as in the Epicenter, for example, of Matori. Something you don't really want to encounter, but oh, top, look at this. They want to go here on that Tidehunter, and now he's, yeah, stunning some time. Oh, but he's TPing out instant the stun, and yeah, poor Dante, he's going down. I don't think he's gonna use his Ravage here. He's really slowly but steadily going down. The problem is, like, the Kraken Shell proc, so he didn't get the Malphite stun. He's still going, but yeah, the last Sprout then should do the trick. It does the trick, and in the meantime, they used, well, that time while the Tidehunter is kiting to get some damage done on the tier 1 tower, at least in the mid.
Tidehunter dying isn't the worst thing to happen. Sand King still does have his Blink Dagger, and the Cafeteria Fraiche side, they do know about this, or they should know about this by this point. With the mech up, they could comfortably fight this, even though Morphling still has no interest in fighting whatsoever. He's working on his ultimate orbit, looks like. Cask will be thrown, but the Viper doing the damage on the tower, and Matori can jump forward with a Burrow Strike. Will start this fight. Ralphie, though, dropping very low, very quickly. Black Hole onto only Kaitora. That'll secure the kill there. That's an easy 2-kill. It looks, although Kaitora is still alive with the mech. Please kill off Kaitora quickly. There you go. It's easy 2-kill for the Cafeteria Fraiche side. They lose the tower, but 2 kills, it's fine.
Yeah, I guess. To be honest, it's too bad. Like, I wish they would have committed. I really wish they would have committed. Viper was surprisingly long tanking there. And the Epicenter from the side, plus a Burst Strike on all those 4 heroes just surrounding the Viper. And imagine also Tidehunter, instead of TPing top, he could have TP'd mid. No, actually he didn't even TP top, he just went there and didn't react to the mid engagement. That would have been Epicenter into a Ravage, Gosh, Anchor Smash even there. I think they might have had like a nice turnaround, but maybe it also would have turned out as a bad decision. Who knows? Like, I had the feeling that they could have turned it around. In the end, it doesn't happen. So a nice trade for the Cafeteria guys. Really giving away quite something of their lead. The only thing they of course effectively do, buying Morphling some time. But and I think, Mike, we should look in the graphs.
Yeah, the Cafeteria Fraiche side with the Doom holding the Hand of Midas plus that Devour going to hold a comfortable lead in gold, and I think it'll just only increase as they're getting quite a bit of space. Experience still in favor of the Chili Willy side, going back to how the laning stage went. I think Cafeteria Fraiche still kind of reeling from that one, and the fact that they've been balled up for a good amount of this game. But the Tier 1 towers are all gone for the Chili Willy side, and I'm actually getting more and more concerned for them because they're giving Cafeteria Fraiche just a little bit too much space. Again, the Doom has all the farming in the world. The Enigma has his pushing ready, as does the Nature's Prophet. They could look for some fights, and if they manage the Sand King correctly, they'll be able to take them relatively convincingly, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, I don't know, the Morphling then later, like, if he is the Doom target, the Doom prior target, or if he doesn't have a BKB, then he's gonna be disabled a lot. Like, either with the Doom or the Brewmaster ultimate, maybe even in the Black Hole. And this is what worries me a bit. So creating space for the Morphling is one thing, but then having like a solo core, benching everything on a solo core, is a dangerous thing to do. Because, I mean, okay, now we have the Sand King maybe coming with us there in that entire, I don't know, Rumble Brawl, but let's see. Like, one good Black Hole or one shutdown on the Morphling, and the fight for Chili really might be ruined completely.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of their eggs into this Morphling basket, and that's always a risky thing to happen when there's Doom on the other end. Meanwhile, top, they're going to drop a Mystic Flare into Black Dynamite. He's going to try to Voodoo Restoration his way out of this with the mech coming in from Clinch. They will save their Witch Doctor.
That was the best
not
mech
a
of
huge
all
investment.
times. He just arrived there with a TP. Just the second that Arcane Bolt like impacted on Black Dynamite here, he would have died. That Arcane Bolt would have finished him off, since it's a level 2 even. So yeah, nice timing there on the TP.
Enigma is literally Superman, saving everyone with that mech. But yeah, saving the Witch Doctor, only with 1 point Voodoo Restoration, has actually chosen to gone for Maledict. Maybe looking for a little bit more Wombo combo with the Black Hole and the Brewmaster causing some chaos. Hopefully he'll slip that one in and no one will really notice. But it looks like Cafeteria Fraiche, they're going to go for Roshan. They don't have the most damage here just yet. Nature's Prophet is teleporting in soon enough. Yeah, with the Treants, he doesn't have Treants. Where are the Treants? Okay, when the Treants and Eidolons eventually come, they'll be able to bring this down really quickly. But until then, Chili Willy, they're mobilizing.
Oh, yeah, there's also a Haste Rune spawning. Unfortunately, the Witch Dog did not de-ward the other ward. Now, do we have anything incoming? Oh god, this is gonna be a huge fight.
Man's gonna get burst struck first and foremost. He's silenced, he's gonna get mech'd up and ravaged. Can he get the split off? He will be able to. Clinch now gonna get a huge black hole with the death ward. Epicenter's being channeled from right behind, but it's not doing anything. The black hole doesn't actually kill anyone. Everyone's so tanky. Doom onto the Morphling. He's gonna be forced to back off. But Dynamite as well as the Nature's Prophet, they're getting focused by Matori and Dante. They're so tanky this side. Tanking with the Maledict on him. Might not kill him. In the meantime, Tokasan, they're gonna try to bring him down the Morphling. They will be successful in doing so. Dante up towards the north, and Matori will survive that Maledict. No, the Tidehunter won't survive the Maledict. Notorio is the only one who's going to. And Cafeteria Fraiche, they get a split and a huge black hole with the Death Ward. But Chili Willy, they somehow managed to survive through a lot of that.
Yep, that was actually pretty impressive that they survived this, because the setup looked so nice. Like, the Death Ward was almost for full duration channeled, but then again, it did not do enough. And that's also the compromise you had to do there. Like, I mean, going 2 points into that Maledict, in this fight, it definitely helped, of course. Maybe one more point in the casket. I don't know. It's crazy to say, but I mean, one important thing, of course, happened. The Morphling went down, and that's cool. But there was also one big mistake on Chili Willy's side. Like, after the silence and the Arcane Bolt and the Concussive Shot, which he all three casted. Oh, but Skyroth Mage, he's being found here. He's so dead. Like, I don't know how many abilities there was spammed on him, but this was like 500% over his HP pool for sure. Plus even a Maledict taken afterward. But either way, he's going down, and they get Roshan. And who actually got the Aegis? The Doom. Okay. No, but what I wanted to say, sorry, about the Skyrath, he didn't have enough mana for the Mystic Flare. the Mystic Flare would have finished off the Panda, because he was double stunned. The first stun was the Burst Strike, the second one was the Ravage, but he didn't have enough mana. With that, that would have been super successful fight. Horrible loss for Cafeteria. But yeah, they didn't manage the Panda, so the Panda ultimate saved the day there, pretty much.
They have no black hole, and they're going to risk it anyway, knowing that they do have the Aegis advantage. Trying to poke a little bit at that mid lane. Sand King is in a perfect position, but he doesn't have an epicenter. It looks like Cafeteria Fraiche are going to, well, some of them are going to smoke up and look for someone on the bottom lane, but Morphling will get himself out of that bottom lane. He has completed the Lincoln Sphere, and I don't know if Cafeteria Fraiche know about this. If he burns a Doom onto that Lincoln Sphere, then that is pretty much just game winning, or fight winning, for the Chili Willy side.
Yeah, I mean, this Lincoln is really fresh. It might be the surprise. I mean, this will only happen once, pretty much. They actually smoked up and were hoping that someone is going in the bottom lane or maybe somewhere jungle, but it didn't really happen. In the mid, we have the Viper back, and where they just face off the Brewmaster, but top, yeah, they find Pelican. That was very unfortunate. Stun in Mystic Flare, easy kill. And by the way, how many Arcane boots do they have? That is 1, 2. Like, this is crazy. Like, a Skywrath Mage almost back to full mana after he used, like, Silence, Concussive Shot, and Mystic Flare. Usually after that combo, you're pretty much out of mana. Especially as a full support Skywrath Mage.
Unfortunately, he himself doesn't have any Arcane Boots, so he won't benefit from the increased mana pool, and that's something you really, really want. And I mean, if he had that in the Roshan Pit area fight, he would have had enough mana to drop a Mystic Flare almost assuredly. The rest of the Cafeteria Fraiche side, they're going to go down the bottom lane, look for a fight, and, well, they're going to start with poking at the tower. Eidolon's going to go to town, and the creeps will bring in the Treants as well. They'll have a book on Nature's Prophet soon enough. They're just going to clear off as much space as they can and keep their eyes open for the Sand King initiation.
I liked what the Midnight Pulse did there. Like, just taking away the space for the Sand King, just hide in the trees and then just blink in. But like, his Sandstorm at the moment just cleaning up the entire wave. Plus, we have the Morphling split pushing at the same time. Like, he's starting to do tier 2 damage here. And now let's see. Everything is ready. Like, every single big cooldown is ready. And oh, look at it. There we have a Cascade on the Viper here. Maledict on him. Like, he gets here and there some damage, but the real fight is here top. Oh my god, the Mystic Flare on the Panda. He's still silenced, but he's gonna get that one off. There's the Doom, silencing the Titan. So no Ravage. They just have to focus him down. And now Bouldertoss is gonna be on the Skywrath Mage. They want to focus him. He's definitely going down. This is number 1. Morphling joined the fight, but he can't really do anything like that. So at the moment, it's just a nice little standoff, pretty much.
They force a buyback from the Tidehunter. The Sand King was off to the side, was constantly being wailed upon by summons, so he couldn't use his Blink Dagger, he couldn't get in there with an Epicenter. He does survive, but he doesn't contribute anything to that fight, and, well, Cafeteria Fraiche are going to be okay with how that one went. They do use the split, 90 seconds until that will be up another minute for the Doom's Doom. Yeah. But, yeah, all in all, I think Cafeteria Fraiche are going to be pretty satisfied with that, though they don't get any towers. You can really see the weakness of these make guys and push type of heroes, Nature's Prophet and the Enigma, and why they're kind of more why Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman are more favored, because AoE, Sandstorm, stuff like that, you don't have to worry about that when you're dropping Serpent Wards.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, that fight, we saw everything but Black Hole and Ravage. Like, those 2 ultimates were out, everything else was used, but to be honest, like, it was in the end really just a 1-for-0 trade plus a buyback, so Cafeteria, they're gonna be happy with that, I guess. Absolutely.
They're gonna be a little bit less happy if they're forced to fight without their ultimates. They need the split and the Doom to fight really well. They'll have a Doom soon enough, and, well, the Brewmaster looking for initiation, gonna dodge a blind Anchor Smash, and he's going in deep, but he doesn't have a split, so if he wants to start anything, it will bring him down in a hurry. He just wants to cancel off Notori's chances of getting in there with a Blink Burrow Strike or a Blink Epicenter or something like that. If they could jump on the Sand King from right here, that would be absolutely huge. But in the meantime, the tower is going to start to take a little bit of damage. They're going to come in from the north.
Oh, I think I have a bad feeling that Brewmaster really wants to go.
Baron's going to pop up the BKB immediately. He'll get the Doom on the Morphling. Lincoln Sphere not saving him there. Matori will hide in the Sandstorm, but it's not doing anything there. Ravage, well, onto quite a few heroes. However, Dante now going to be the target focus. Lynch will get immediately canceled on his Black Hole. Here's the Epicenter onto everyone. Baron and Esmed dropping very low. Death Ward focusing onto Kaitora, but he has the most armor. He's not going to die anytime soon. Death Ward does get interrupted by a Silence on the back end. They're going to try to chase forward. Toka-san in the trees, very awkwardly now stuck. Black Dynamite will get focused down by the combination of Skywrath and Sand King. Kaitora still alive, doesn't have a mech this time, so I think at this point he might go down with another clap from the Brewmaster. He will get the secondary clap onto Ralphie, but another Burrow Strike from Matori still alive in this fight. Gonna try to run away to the north. SMN still alive. Matori hiding in the sandstorm, and Tokasan still alive, but he's very low on mana. Did he survive that Doom and Focus? It looks like he did. Matori gonna get another Burst Strike onto Baron. Will try to take out the Doom by himself, but the level death and the clap instantly bring down that Sand King.
Oh,
why is everyone breaking into the trees? What is going on here?
But nobody sees that.
Person to get stuck.
This Scorched Earth would have killed him if he was just in the area, but the Doom is like, nah, I'm going back. Like, he didn't see this one happening. But to be honest, like, the start of the fight, really nice played by Willy. They got the Enigma instantly interrupted, as well as the Death Ward. I mean, they had this setup, they decided to go for the 2-man Black Hole, but Black Hole interrupted, Death Ward by the Skywrath Mage instantly interrupted. That was horrible for the Cafeteria guys. If that would have worked out, that was Chili Willy's demise there. But yeah, they really focused on those two important spells being completely disabled almost instantly. Like, this Death Ward had, like, I don't know, not even done 100 damage or so, and the Black Hole was up for, it felt like a second or so. That's exactly how Chili Willy has to do it, to not risk here like bad counter fights or turnarounds.
Matori did go down in that fight, but by far I think he was one of the most influential heroes in that fight. Cafeteria Fraiche, they just simply couldn't get a beat on him. He was just burrow striking and then running away and then blinking and for another burrow strike and then sitting in Sandstorm, which Cafeteria Fraiche were not prepared to deal with. I mean, now they have some sentries on the Witch Doctor, so they'll be able to kill the Sand King in theory, especially if he gets jumped right now. But yeah, the Sand King got like 4 or 5 burrow strikes off at least in that fight, and that guy just doing that much stunning action, that much damage, it's something you can't really ignore if you're Cafeteria Fraiche.
Yep, absolutely, and just updated the score. I just saw, like, we didn't have the score updated yet. Jesus, yeah. Of course, guys, and a few was also asking, like, oh, why is this not KPG? Cafeteria, they play now against Chili Willy, and right after they play again against Compass Gaming. So we have 4 games in a row, guys, so there is no reason to even shut down the stream. We can stay all the way here. Either way, back to this game. 25 minutes in. It's been more than 10 minutes that we showed the craft, so we have a second look here in it. The craft, experience-wise, nullified completely. Like Chili Willy, they had a 4k lead with all that space created and relatively good fight, a nice laning stage, but this is all lost after all these brawls in the mid, these central fights or around the bottom tower. And when it comes to gold, well, it was up and down, a bit of a roller coaster there, but eventually the craft is going more on Cafeteria's side. I guess the main reason is, of course, also that the Doom is farming so well at the moment. He's 11k in. He has the same farm as the Morphling, and the Morphling had the most time, because the Doom has been, I don't know, forth and back fighting, going back to Fountain, whatsoever. The Morph so far, he was just once killed in this game, and he had, like, I don't know, it felt like at least 15 minutes on his safe lane, just that one death. And the rest of the time he was even in the jungle, but still, like, he's not farming as well as he maybe should.
Yeah, but the person who is getting some very important items up is the Viper. He's just picked up his Aghanim Scepter, which is ordinarily a really good item on Viper, but in this game it's just like a super great item on Viper. These fights are lasting for so long. The more Viper strikes you get, if you get 2, if you get 3, you're going to be in the money right there. And plus, the Cafeteria Fraiche side have been really struggling to bring down this Viper. Now with even more strength, even more health, he's sitting at 1800 HP with 18 going up to even more armor once he pops off that mech. Tora's going to be dropping Viper strikes left, right, and center, and Cafeteria Fraiche now, they're going to have to focus the Viper, they're going to have to focus the Sand King, try to nail him to the floor. They, at this point, might not have enough damage, even though they do have a Doom who's getting a lot of farm. He's not actually hitting very hard.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see, like, it's been a while. It's like 2 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes that we had the last fight, that central fight in the mid, and to be honest, like, both teams seem still a bit shaken up on that fight, because they know if just anything goes wrong, I mentioned it already with the ultimates being interrupted or not interrupted, these are crucial events in those fights, but nobody seems to, like, willing to risk anything at the moment. Both teams are laid back. We have Enigma jungling, the Furion even going for the Ancients, so they use the map relatively nice. We have, like, nobody is with anyone grouped up at the moment. No pairs, no roams, no nothing is going on. Everybody's just optimizing the XP and gold gained here at the moment. But maybe around the bottom rune we have something interesting coming. Because also Roshan. Look at Roshan. Roshan is... oh, he's spawning any second.
Roshan is definitely going to be the focal point in this fight, but what are your thoughts on the Morphling's build right now? He's gone for Lincoln Sphere as well as a BKB. against a Doom Black Hole, I don't really know if I like this that much.
Yep, I'm not a big fan of it. Like that BKB here, it's nice against Malefice and a Casket, and of course against the Maledict, but I don't know. Like it's Black Hole doesn't care about BKBs except for of course the magical damage not affecting you. The Death Ward doesn't care about the BKB, and the Doom doesn't care about BKB either. So we have 3 major abilities that, yeah, the Morphling can do nothing, but there was Matori trying to do that Burrow Strike on the Brewmaster, but not hitting, not even close.
Brewmaster with some quick fingers there. Of course, this Black King Bar is a pretty steep investment for the Morphling. It'll get some value. I mean, it'll serve to kind of draw focus away from the Morphling, which has some value in and of itself, but that means that he's not going to be going for that next big damage item, whether it be Manta Style, whether it be something huge like a Butterfly or something like that. His damage is going to remain relatively low, and once he gets doomed, Black King Bar on or not, he's not going to be able to stand and fight, really. He's going to have to run, and at that point, no one's doing the damage from the Chilly Willy side, except for the Viper doing those Viper Strikes. So I would have really liked to see the Morphling go for not BKB, although he did have the Ogre Club for quite some time. He needs something that gives him plus damage.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something he needs to go for. But I have the same feeling for Cafeteria in the long run. Like, who's doing the right-click damage? Because we have at the moment a Doom who's going for Assault Cuirass. So okay, it helps with physical damage coming in, but I don't know, after that, what is happening after that? Like, at the moment he also doesn't have a nice aura. We don't have a flat zone anyone at the moment. We don't have the Alpha Wolf. We have a Frost attack, which is, it's kind of cool to have it, like if you go for chases, but like in huge team fights where like everybody is reliant on the auras you bring into team fights, then we don't have too much. We have a mech, we have drums, and that's pretty much it.
They're very reliant on the big AoE teamfight skills to do damage. I think Midnight Pulse is probably the thing that does the most damage, if not the Witch Doctor's Maledict Death Ward combination. They're going to try to sneak Roshan, but Chilly Willy, they're in the area. Now the Morphling's going to completely spot everything out. Cafeteria Fraiche, they don't have much damage, which again does favor the Viper very heavily with that Aghanim Scepter. He'll be able to throw out several Viper Strikes in a fight. Looks like Chilly Willy, though, they are not going to look to defend this Roshan. Nope. They're just going to get a little bit more farm up and concede this Aegis.
I don't know, but I don't think it's really worth it. Like, I think there should have been a contest, and again, all the ultimates are up, so it's a risky endeavor to go for it, but, I mean, if I think about it, just when I think about it, like, now are Aegis, and they were doing fine in farm and experience anyway, now, with the Roshan on top of it, like, what did they achieve in the 2 minutes it took to kill the Roshan? Pretty much nothing, and if you look at the graphs, yeah, Chilly Willy, I don't know, in experience, it's not quite nullified at all, but they go here, bottom, on the Nature's Prophet. There it is. He is down. That is the Aegis. That's the funny part. And now with the rotation, they might actually do something. Oh, but BKB TPing out. We didn't consider this one, actually. Like,
that's not worth it at all. BKB TP. I would not spend that much gold to ensure that escape. It's simply not worth it. They're going to, at the very least, with that play, take down the Aegis and force the Cafeteria Fraiche attention away from the mid tier 2. It was taking a little bit of damage, but everyone, you know, seeing their buddies in danger, teleported down bottom, and the push in the middle lane simply stopped. So Chilly Willy with a little bit of split push / aggression in the side lanes to defend their mid lane. Not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how this is progressing, because at the moment, like, both teams, I mean, this small pickup, getting rid of the Aegis, that's a huge achievement for the next fight. Then again, Nature's Prophet is not a hero where you're like, to be honest, I don't even know why he had the Aegis in the first place. Like, I really don't know. Like, on the Panda, that might have been more interesting, because, like, just imagine the Panda is getting silenced and shut down before he gets the Primal Split off. Then you want the Aegis on him. The Nature's Prophet, a hero that split push, that means if you get really caught off guard somewhere, like, far away from your own base, far away from any follow-ups or any help, reinforcements whatsoever, then you die a second time. And that's why I just don't understand the Aegis on the Nature's Prophet. But okay, the Cafeteria guys, they decided it was a good choice, and luckily it even turned out quite well, because yeah, no kill for Chilly Willy, just the fact that no Aegis is there.
Nature's Prophet definitely isn't as farmed as we're used to seeing Nature's Prophets. He has a Necro Book level 3, which is all well and good, but I feel like his contributions aren't nearly enough compared to the Tidehunter Sand King, who are technically holding less net worth than the Nature's Prophet. They're definitely doing a lot more for their team.
Yep. And by the way, I've been talking about auras and stuff. Yes, we have a flats now done on the Panda. And the Panda Is he gonna join that fight soon? Yes, he arrived, and the Furion at the moment using his ultimate. Okay, just wants to push out the lanes and everything. The Viper just going to bait. He just wants to like push them out, get the Viper strike on someone just as a harass tool. But yeah, it doesn't seem they want to commit to anything. But maybe they don't even need to. Tier 2 tower uncontested down. Mid tier 3 tower 50% down. I guess it was worth it without losing anything.
Yeah, it was just fine. They forced the Morphling to stop farming. Morphling was awkwardly sitting in his base, trying to stay safe for that entire semi-push that they had. So they don't really spend anything, and they're going to go for even more. So if they could get these towers for free, then, well, obviously it'll be really good for them. But now Smoke Up. It looks like Chili Willy are potentially looking for a fight now, though everyone's heading up north. That's the wrong direction, guys, because everyone is down south pushing your bottom lane.
Yep, absolutely. That's... I mean, they have TPs and everything, but let's see. Maybe they want to go for the Nature's Prophet. He's still on range, maybe to be seen. It's also daytime, which means larger range. So, and oh my god, he's running there. There he's silenced and slowed. He's so dead. He managed to use the Nacros before, so the Tyrant are actually being umbered. Yeah, at the same time, there is the tier 2 tower. Cliff being used, but this is just stalling some time. The Brewmaster already busy then taking out the next creep wave at the 30-second mark. It is a tier 2 tower trade plus a Furion as the icing on top of the cake, but the problem is, do they push on? No, they don't. Okay, I did not see this coming. I actually thought they make the best out of this trade and even push the tier 3 tower a bit. Just seeing if they all rotate or maybe if they can do some damage without losing anything. But apparently, no, they don't want to. Because that would have maybe meant also the Furion has to buy back. And he doesn't have... No, he has. No, he doesn't have the buyback. That's why.
Yeah, there's no reason to push without your Nature's Prophet when you don't have to. Going for the top tier 2, I mean, they've already taken all the other tier 2s. Why not take the entire set? Will be the easiest thing for them to do. Because Chili Willy clearly have shown that they don't have any intentions of defending their tier 2 towers, so it's another bag of free gold for the Cafeteria Fraiche to, you know, collect, and it'll give them hopefully another big item. Doom sitting at 2,800 gold. The Blink BKB mech is up on the Enigma, so he's all but maxed out except for, you know, Shiva's Sheepstick, all those kinds of items. Witch Doctor's going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, but he's a very, very long way from that one. And Cafeteria Fraiche, they're going to gear up and look for the mid lane. I don't know if they're going to get anything done here.
Absolutely. We saw yesterday, like we both had the honor of seeing a Witch Dog with the Aghanim Scepter so early that he was so crazy when it came to hero damage. It was absolutely nuts how much damage he dealt. That was just crazy. Like it was such a pleasure to actually see it, but oh, nah, Morphling, he's getting out. There's a Lincolns on him, they have nothing to interrupt him. The Haze could get the Lincolns off, but then they needed a Doom. And just not fast enough, too far away, but let's see what Cafeteria guys are doing. I mean, at the moment they stick together, which is of course not a bad idea, because the Furion just died twice now while they were somewhere else. They traded a tower, but Chili Willy a tiny bit better since they got the Furion kill twice. But let's see, it looks like they finally decided to go. And Chili Willy still has the opinion like, hey guys, we can wait, we can stall some time here, easily.
And this could be potentially bad for them, though. The Viper just bought out for a Heart. The Morphling just bought out for an MKB. They're great items to have, but that means they have no buyback. They're going to jump forward onto Baron. Black Hole is going to catch 2 heroes. Dante needs to get his Ravage off, but it's not going to happen. Viper up into the air, sent up by the Storm Spirit, and now Ralphie is on his way out. Matori is trying to hide in the Sandstorm. Tokasan going to throw a strike forward, and, well, Dante's going to get a big Ravage off, hit onto quite a few heroes. Tokasan with the BKB, and Kaitora still in this fight. Going to try to focus down Baron, but he's still alive. Matori's going to come in here with the Epicenter. Will kill off the Doom. Dante has also bought back, and they're going to try to go for SMN. They're going to try to TP out. That's not going to happen. In the end, they're forced to buy back a lot of them. Are they going to get Black Dynamite? No. TP, as the Viper Strike does go straight to the right, following that TPing out target.
And that was also a godlike off the Brewmaster, so that was a huge chunk of gold coming in there. That's 1,360, just like that, just bzzz, got him. And the problem is, and I mentioned it already, no damage. Just no damage. Just no damage happened here. That's the problem. Ultimates came out. The Black Hole only got one hero after he already casted his ultimate, and I don't know. Like that was everything but good. So Cafeteria losing that fight big time, which means they're gonna lose the tier 2 tower. The cliff is not available, and that is a very easy one. And the last one even. All tier 2 towers are down now as well with this one.
That lack of damage is really going to hurt them now that Morphling has picked up a Helm of the Dominator after MKB. There's no way anyone on Cafeteria Fraiche are going to be able to, duel up against that Morphling. They're going to have to burst him down really quickly, or at least doom him and try to pressure him out of the fight. I mean, then they have to focus on the Viper, who was sent up into the air a couple times, which is unfortunately for Cafeteria the best thing that they could hope for right now. Just ignore the Viper and try to kill off the rest of his team, but once the Viper drops down again, those Viper strikes are absolutely devastating on the Cafeteria Fraiche side. They don't have the burst, they don't have the sustained damage. They're really going to start to run out of gas soon.
Yeah, absolutely, and we have to see what happened after this fight, and yes, so far they were kind of equal when it came to experience, but especially in experience we have a huge rise here, like from almost 0 to 7,500 in experience lead, and the gold, yeah. Cafeteria, they were doing well, the craft always go in their direction, especially with the two Roshans, uncontested, but yeah, from 5,000 or even more than 5,000 down to 2,500, that's something you don't really want to see. Now we have the Witchdog, he's really trying to finish that Aghanim Scepter, because he needs it, they need the damage, like as funny as that sounds, but like, oh, there's maybe a go here on the Viper, so far no reinforcements, but they are just giving up because the Viper Strike or on the Brewmaster. I just don't want to risk to run in a bait there. But still, like it's funny to say, and actually also a bit sad to say that an entire team requires a Witchdog to have a Aghanim Scepter and channel pretty much a full death board to have the required damage for the team fight. And that's, yeah, it's really bad news.
We're going to jump once again in for Kaitora, but actually they're going to throw the cask. It won't bounce. Here comes the turnaround from the Skywrath Mage. No, just a concussive shot and silence back, forcing everyone to back on off. The Viper with a Heart of Tarrasque is going to shrug all of that off, and you're absolutely right. I mean, they need either the Aghanim's Death Ward to take a really convincing fight, or a Midnight Pulse Black Hole. Now, that's a lot of damage if they do manage to have that happen, but Sand King has been on point with his Burrow Strike, so getting that is going to be really hard, as Tokusan might be able to trouble.
And Black Hole.
Yeah, Black Hole and Doom, this guy's so very dead, but that's all the team fight power from Cafeteria Fraiche. Morphling does have a buyback, though he doesn't have a replicate up. Looks like Kaitora is going to try to get in from the back. They feel comfortable to take this 4v5. Jumped in, huge Ravage and a Mystic Flare and an Epicenter. Instantly the Doom's going to go down, no DPS from him. The Brewmaster will get the split off. Kaitora still standing strong, almost at full HP. Matori is going to try to get his way out with the Force Staff with another Burrow Strike, and he will just Sandstorm it out. He will get hit, though, with that Wrath of Nature as Brewmaster in the meantime, taking down the Skywrath Mage. Tidehunter up into the air will blink out, but I don't think he's going to get out of this. The Sprout is there, the TP and the Cask will cancel that. Everyone's going to die. Chilly Willy taking a 4v5, way too overconfident in their position right now.
That was interesting. It's funny that, like, if we compare the two fights we just saw within the last 4 minutes, we had one fight with all ultimates of Cafeteria there, and they horribly lost it. And this fight, without the Black Hole, it worked absolutely well. And now with this, do they force even buybacks? Because this is gonna hurt Chilly Willy. This is really gonna hurt Chilly Willy if they get some even buybacks out of this.
The Necro 3 really making the difference there. Picked off the Sand King, whereas normally Sand King got several Burrow Strikes off. This time he only got 1, maybe 2. The tower's going to be brought down. This pushing power from Cafeteria Fraiche is still intense. SMN is going to get silenced and he's going to try to TP out of here. Nothing to interrupt. Although Morphling's going to come right in with the Adaptive Strike. There you go. That's
nothing to interrupt. The caster's last word just before the Morphling decided to have the best TP of his life and just get it done.
Instantly, the rest of Chilly Willy, they're going to smoke up and look for more. They don't have a Mystic Flare, so Sand King, Skywrath Mage, they're not going to be able to kill off anyone if they do find a Morphling, though. Sitting at 4,100 gold, I don't think it's Satanic time just yet. Possibly a little bit more damage before then. But regardless, the Morphling, if the Cafeteria Fraiche side are unable to lock him down as they did in the last fight, they're going to struggle.
Oh, poor guy. There's a Burrow Strike. And oh, BKB and just TPing, but there is an MKB. But not lucky enough. Just not lucky enough. That was like 4 hits of the Morphling, but yeah, well.
He used Adaptive Strike first, which, I mean, there's literally no reason for you to do that unless you want to cast it twice and you're expecting a big fight. He pretty much just gave Doom a big green light to teleport on out of there with that one. Hoping for the MKB, but not getting it.
Yep, like, well, it's of course unlucky, but still, they get the Roshan. That's their main goal. And now, this was also the important Roshan The other Roshan's just significant when it came to pretty much looking at the graphs. But jDL3 they're not interested in, I don't know, like just having that early advantage. They were like, hey guys, we got late game, so let them have Roshan, we just keep on farming, and it works out quite well. And now we have, of course, the biggest problem is that, yeah, a Morphling with the Aegis. Who got the cheese, actually? The cheese on the Viper, but, well, I think he's the last one who needs the cheese. I think the cheese on a Tidehunter might be interesting.
Yeah, or at this point, even the Sand King. He has a Scythe of Ice somehow. I don't know how he found enough gold for that one, but Aegis on the Morphling, that in itself is gonna hurt. And now that he has a Satanic, this guy is damn near invulnerable in these fights. Even if you invest the Black Hole in the Doom, he's just gonna pop right back up, pop the BKB, and then just go to town on your team. But we do have a little bit of Rat Dota action going up on top side. Nature's Prophet trying to force the entirety of jDL3 back, and it looks like for now, he will be successful in doing so.
But yeah, I don't know, that's really a tiny bit of Red Dota coming on. The Morphling is gonna say, thank you, that's a lot of CS for me, just like that, and they're going back, but they're just going back because they know they don't need to push. Like, the timer is up for Cafeteria, not for jDL3. I still think, like, with that Ravage, Echo Center, a huge farmed Morphling, and a Viper who is at the moment pretty much invulnerable. We already had a lack of damage for the Cafeteria guys in the past. Especially when the big ultimates got interrupted, especially when the, say, the Death Ward got interrupted. But let's see. Maybe we have a nice start here. They are going to smoke, and I'm trying to find something. But in the mid there are 4, and the Morphling is alone. No replicate up though, which is of course making him vulnerable. Then again, he has the Aegis, he has the BKB and a Satanic. Like, you really need to shut him down. I don't know how they want to do this. Like, killing this Morphling at the moment, killing the first time, killing him the second time is gonna be so hard, especially if he's not in the Black Hole. Having him in the Black Hole is kinda, yeah, imperative here.
It's an absolute necessity for them to land some amount of the Black Hole on Morphling at one point in his 2 lives. I mean, the worst case scenario is that they use the Black Hole and they don't use the Doom, and then he just pops Satanic and then gets right back up to full HP. The rest of jDL3, they're gonna smoke up and look for a fight here. They're gonna see Baron out in front. Ralphie's going to get his smoke dispelled, but that's it. So I don't think they know where everyone is just yet. They're going to wrap around. Now they see Baron. It's a fake Viper leading the charge, though. Kaitora's going to jump right in onto Baron, as well as Katori. Baron taking a lot of damage with the Missile Flare. He's going to go down, put a Black Hole onto absolutely everyone with the Death Ward. That's going to be 2 down instantly. Dante's going to get the Ravage off right before he dies. Kaitora still very much alive. Aegis at the top on Morphling. Will pop a BKB, and now just go to town. Burst Strike onto Clinch. They'll focus down Pelican. They'll take him down. Kaitora still alive. He's taking so much focus, but he's just not dying. He'll finally go down, but Toka-san still standing very strong. Gonna get the haze dispelled by the Lincoln Sphere. Burst Strike onto SMN. That's gonna be 4 down. jDL3. They use the cheese and lose the Aegis, but take a 3-for-4 fight.
Wow. Like, it was a bit unfortunate that the Tidehunter, when the Black Hole ended, he was on 120 HP and still got his Ravage off there. Like, just a tiny bit more damage on him would have been, like, no Ravage. But the biggest downside, of course, for Cafeteria was the Doom getting silenced. I mean, getting hexed, then silenced, and then nuked down so fast because they needed the Doom. They needed Doom's damage, they needed Doom's aura, and they needed the Doom for the Morphling after he came back from his Aegis. Like, if the Doom would not have died, jDL3 would have lost that fight easily. Easily. But of course, this was the perfect start for jDL3. Getting the Doom down, which is pretty much the most dangerous thing at the moment for jDL3. So yeah, it worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, the Doombringer was there to participate in that Black Hole. I mean, already the team fight from Cafeteria Fraiche was as picture perfect as you could ask. You got 3 man in the Black Hole. You had the Brewmaster doing his split things all the while with a fully channeled level 2 Aghanimed up Death Ward. It doesn't get much better than that, but you know, at a certain point you need someone else to just be hitting people and doing damage after those team fight ultimates are all over, because Viper lives for so long.
Look at Doom. He's going for Basher, and I like it. This is going to be Abyssal played as another attempt to just shut down the Morphling, especially before he pops his Satanic and just right-clicks through, but oh, they just wanted to go for the Morphling, but yeah. As I said, this fight, everything was decided, pretty much, that when the Doom died. That was already jDL3's start, with that they knew they're going to have a decent fight. They, on the on the other hand, of course, we had Cafeteria with a perfect black hole. Like it just got everyone, and the tap ward full duration with the Arcanum Scepter. It did so much damage. It was enough to get the cheese, get the Aegis down, but of course the Doom was missing. And even with this amazing black hole and this amazing death ward, you're just not winning this fight, because when everything is gone of those ultimates, the Morphling is just like, okay guys, so that was cool, and now let's start.
Yeah, I think we could say that it's kind of an anomaly for both teams. Like, you don't expect Cafeteria Fraiche to get that good of a team fight going. But also, that's because Chili Willy, you don't expect them to let these ultimates drag on for that long. Now, canceling off the black hole when he has a BKB up, there is, I believe, only one thing that they have that does that, and that's the Monkey King bar on Toka-san. But other than that, you know, you have the Witch Doctor ultimate, which ordinarily was channeled for, like, 1 second maximum from the Cafeteria Fraiche side. So if Chili Willy could avoid fights like that, then they'll be just fine. But even if they take fights like that in the future, the Morphling's getting really big as he now starts building a Scotty. So
yeah.
Toka-san's going to soon be able to tank all of that up.
Well, maybe it's not even a Scotty. No, it has to be a Scotty. That's like the most powerful item you can get now on your 6th slot for the Morphling. Like the only thing really he lacks at the moment is just that slow of the Scotty plus the stat, so he can even go more in agility. That's the good thing about the morph, that when you get a stat from the item, then you could just balance around, of course, morphing into in and out of strength, of course. But let's see. I mean, the Morphling scary as hell already. Then again, you can still shut him down with the Doom, and that's all about right clicks, like in the Doom. That's the scenario that Cafeteria has to rely on. The problem is if the Morphling is not in the black hole and not doomed, I just don't see him dying at the moment. That's the problem.
And then if that's the case, if you focus everything that you have against the Morphling, then suddenly you have to worry about a Viper who's now packing a Monkey King bar, so Drunken Haze not going to be doing too much versus this Viper anymore. He's starting to do some really serious damage. He's somehow overtaken the Doom in the gold per minute chart. So the Viper is going to be doing some pretty heavy damage, and we already saw that he's very, very difficult for the Cafeteria Fraiche side to kill off. Hard to kill off hero that's doing a lot of damage is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and the problem is with this is what I hate about most Vipers, is that they just go tanky, 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 and then in the end, they don't have like a second core that brings things low where they can then start benefiting from the toxin. But this Viper actually now made the right choice. MKB against the Panda is the best thing you can do. Then again, the Panda has a refresher, but the problem about refresher is, sure, you can be all you want in your ultimates, but with that morph right-clicking at the moment, and the Viper now having decent right-click as well, the Fire Panda is pretty much gonna die in, what, 3 hits or so? And then the rest of the Brawlings, they have to be careful as well. Like, I mean, they might as well just get right-click down. So, this is the limit of the Panda. Like, we are 50 minutes in, and that's why I also don't like this hero. Like, he is so strong early, and then falls off so badly later if he has, like, similar farmed counter cores, pretty much. And they are not even counters as such, it's just the fact that the Brawlings are just not scaling with you, and that's the biggest problem. Either way, it is more than 10 minutes since we showed the last time the graph, so we have a look into this, and now there you see Chili Willy taking over experience lead quite heavily, especially after that fight. 14k, a bit stagnating at the moment, of course, but yeah, like this is clearly an advantage. When it comes to gold, nevertheless, we have still a nullified graph. It's now starting to go in Chili Willy's favor a tiny bit, but still. Oh god, Pelican. Do they see each other? Did they see the wave? It's daytime.
Oh, now they see each other.
They meet, yes. And BKB used, but he still has to run it. He can't just TP, and this should be it. Like, the waveform should bring him in range, and now it's all the right click. Ring around the Rosie. No, not successful. Yep, easy kill.
What are your thoughts on the Nature's Prophet build? I mean, he's gone for a Desolator, which is an item that we often do see on Nature's Prophet. But as of right now, in my opinion, it's the Rat Dota. It's the fact that Nature's Prophet is constantly split pushing. It's the only thing that's really giving Cafeteria Fraiche any space and time to do anything that they would want. Desolator helps bring down the Morphling, but I don't know if it's substantial enough of an item right now for him.
To be honest, like, the Desolator is not even that useful against the Morphling, because it's just like too fat of armor he got at the moment. I mean, look at his armor. This is just nuts. And the Desolator won't even help that much. I actually thought he's gonna build a Desolator just for some red Dota, because on the towers it's quite nice, but how can I say it? I mean, Admiral Bulldog is not proud of this Furion for sure.
This Nature's Prophet has been rather uninspiring, and Viper, well, he's going to go for a Talisman of Evasion. Whether it's Heaven's Halberd or a Butterfly, either way, well, he's going to make very good use of the fact that there is nowhere near an MKB for anyone on the Cafeteria Fraiche side. I'm sure Morphling would like to do that as well, though he is pretty much 6-slotted after he does pick up this Scotty. And you know, his item build is not having a Butterfly, which is a little bit unorthodox for 6-slotted Morphlings, but hell, it doesn't really matter when, you don't have to worry about that much right-click in the first place. It's all about those giant AoE spells that you have to concern yourself with.
Yep, and by the way, concerning, I'm very concerned about the next Roche fight, because I think we have our game-deciding fight. This is, like, both teams know now. At least Willy knows for sure that it's there, and with the Treens now also Cafeteria knows. They're grouping up already, they guard it. They definitely don't want this Roshan to go in the wrong side. We have the Morphling with a still half duration double damage rune, so something you just don't want to engage in, because that guy with 2.4k HP is hitting for so much, and now they're going into Roshan, and look at this, Morphling just alone against Roshan. Look at this.
Yeah, the way double damage rune acts in that it takes your base stat, your agility, and then amplifies that damage. Baron's going to jump right in. We'll get the Doom onto Tokasan, but does Tokasan care? He has backup in Dante and Ralphie right behind him, but there's the Black Hole. Going to catch 3, and the Death Ward. Suddenly Tokasan's going to drop, as will the rest of his allies. Tidal instantly with the buying back. Here comes the Epicenter from Matori. He's going to jump forward, get a pretty nice Epicenter, but not to be able to kill off anyone. Kaitora's still alive. Morphling's going to slowly try to get in there with the boosted travel. Kaitora now sprouted up, will be focused down. Tokasan is back in this fight, however, can he get anyone in target? He's actually just going to run away. Dante going to try to save his ally from Baron. It won't be enough. He's going to try to pick a fight with this Doom, but the rest of Cafeteria Fraiche, they're going to come right in and go for that Tide Hunter. Willy, they take a very poor fight. However, with all those buybacks, now is the best time for them to re-engage.
What did we just see? That was amazing by Cafeteria. Like, I really thought this Morphling is just gonna do it, but like, he got doomed, then stunned by Roshan, and that was the opening. The Black Hole again here. The Black Hole was amazing, the Death Ward was shit. I have to say it like this because it was too far away. If the Death Ward would have been a bit closer there, he really tried to be super max range, and it was only channeling on one hero. If he would have put it a bit more to the west direction, it would have been through all the people. But still, they get Roshan, they get all the kills, they get 1, 2, 3 buybacks out, and the Viper is still dead. The Viper with... Do we have it? No. I'm
flying out for Talisman.
No buyback.
Evasion. That's not worth it at all. They might lose Rakus here.
Yeah, the Viper, no buyback. That is really bad news. And look at all those trees and everything.
There's the Ravage and the Spoken Fire on the Brewmaster. No Refresher Orb split this fight. Baron going to try to go to town with Tokasan, but Tokasan doomed up. He's going to take focus by the Death Ward, but instantly cancelled. There's the clear play that we want from the Sand King. Baron still somehow alive. Morphling dropping very low. Has got to make it back to his fountain in order to survive. Matori is going to slip out of there with the Ghost Scepter. Fortification has been forced out. They need this Viper to fight. They need this Morphling to get more HP. They need something because the Brewmaster is back. He does have 2 splits. And they see Ralphie jumping forward is Clinch. He will get the Malphus stun onto that Skywrath mage. He will drop down first. Clinch now in a little bit of trouble as he's going to get focused by the Morphling. He's going to go down as a sacrificial lamb. Meantime, top lane, Nature's Prophet slowly working away with that Desolator. Going to force someone from Willy to get back in the fight. In the meantime, mid lane, second split has happened. Baron will go down as Morphling does get sent up into the air. Kaitora not taking any damage from the Brewmaster split. And now Tokasan, he's dropped back down to the floor, will go to town on the Earth and the Storm. This is going to be Brewmaster dying in his split. It's a triple kill for Tokasan, but they lose their bottom Raxes. They need to make something happen with the opening that they have right now, because Brewmaster has no buyback.
That, like, the biggest, to be honest, the biggest mistake I've seen, and this maybe costs Cafeteria their game. The Furion died against a solo Sand King. There was only Sand King killing him. Like, while all this fight was going on bottom and mid, like, he was doing Red Dota here on that Medirex top. And he almost got it down. Like, it was less than half HP, but the Sand King soloed him with that Scythe device we saw earlier. And that was the biggest problem. That was really the biggest problem. Otherwise, they had 2 set of Rexes now. And that would have changed the game a lot.
Buyback from everyone as Baron does jump forward, looking for the Morphling and Doom. He does throw the Abyssal onto Kaitora. Here comes Tokusan. He will get the Doom soon enough, I'm sure. There's the Black Hole once again on 2 with the Death Ward. There's your value right there. The Skywrath Mage is going to get killed off purely by bounces. It's a double kill for Black Dynamite as Tokusan is going to try to get out of there. Matori jumping in with the Hex, saving his Morphling for a little while longer. But they lose 2. They make Cafeteria Fraiche expend the Black Hole. Not really a huge investment for Cafeteria Fraiche. They're going to be more than okay with bringing down the Viper again.
Yeah, that's a 3-minute Black Hole down. Sure, the Viper is down, but he has buyback. That's the biggest problem about it. This is not like a high value kill. They needed the Morph. The Morph would have been interesting. The Morph still 2 minutes on cooldown. With the Morph down, this game would have been over. Maybe, possibly. With the Viper only down, no. I think the Viper was the wrong focus target. They should have focused on that Morphling. Like, get him disabled. Like, one more stun with the Abyssal Plight on him, and he would maybe not have replicated out. But either way, they just want to push. At least force that buyback out on the Viper.
It's a 3v5, 3v4 right now. The Epicenter Ravage can win a fight just by itself at this point with the Morphling doing the damage. Clinch is going to get forced back first and foremost. The Morphling needs to keep himself safe from this Doom, which is, again, up on the Doombringer. The Enigma still has a very long time before his Black Hole is up, and it's been so important for Cafeteria Fraiche to land that Black Hole that I think it's smart for them to back off and wait another 100 seconds for that Black Hole to come up.
But I also don't like what the Nature's Prophet is doing. Like I mean, besides that he died top while he was pretty much the game deciding Red Dota, or at least one set of Rex deciding factor. Like, he lost there against that Sand King. But even now, like, they went for that push, and like all of the creeps, the Necros, including the almost a double wave of Treants, and even the Eidolons, they were attacking the melee racks there, even though they were retreat. Like, if you are retreating from a base, but you leave your creeps there to be farmed by the enemy, pretty much, you might as well just attack the range racks, because this is permanent damage. Like, everything that happened now here to the melee racks, yeah, cool. It's healed up already. Like, that's like the little difference we see between these teams and then higher tier teams. Like, to have to make everything worth it. But smoke in the mid, this is gonna be interesting.
They see Black Dynamite, they silence him up, and they bring him down in an instant. They get the Hex onto Clinch as well. Instantly the buyback is there from the Witch Doctor. However, Clinch is going to go down on top of that, actually use the BKB, and he does have buyback, but not for 3 minutes. Now Cafeteria Fraiche, they're a little bit vulnerable without their Enigma, but bottom lane is in full breach, and Morphling is going to teleport back and defend it. He has the Replicate, so he could jump right back. Cafeteria Fraiche are going to get their mid lane pushed. Can they defend this? They have double split, no Black Hole, however. Death Ward is most likely not going to last very long, seeing as though they don't have the Black Hole online.
But look at this. He is attacking the melee racks here again. Like, everything is gonna be farmed up by the Morphling, not doing any damage, nothing that will be, I don't know, preparing anything whatsoever. In the mid we have the Viper already taking up the tier 3 tower. Like, he really wants this. They really want to force this. And of course they have a Replicate. If they engage here, the Morphling is just coming in. So 40 seconds. These 40 seconds, stalling the time, this is going to be the game deciding fight here, pretty much. Because, yeah, the cliff is some more seconds, sure. The Replicate is actually running out here. 5 seconds now, spamming that Viper Strike. Keep on spamming it. Now the Morphling is coming in, and yep, they need the Black Hole. I think they're going to drop these Rexes here. They are not willing to do more.
I think this is actually the smart move to sack your axes, and you don't really hear anyone saying that. Tokusan up on top is going to pop the BKB, however, he's to worry about Abyssal and Doom. There it is. Instantly Baron, though, gets Hex, and Tokusan's going to stand and fight. But there's the split. Tokusan does have a buyback, things get really hairy. There's a Ravage onto everyone. Matori is there, but he doesn't have the Epicenter channel just yet. Matori is going to be forced back due to the Death Ward. The Mystic Flare will be off the mark as Ralphie tries to kill off the Witch Doctor. Not going to happen. Dante on the way out. It's going to be the Skywrath Mage dropping, and the Morphling is going to get right back into the fight with Future Travel. Going to go to town onto Black Dynamite. The Ghost Scepter will save him for a little while longer. A Pelican not going to be as lucky. Matori is there with Sandstorm, keeping himself alive. Tokusan still wreaking havoc. Now he's now going to go for the last hero alive for the Cafeteria Fraiche side. They're going to take out all of the Brewlings in this split form, and that is going to at least force out more buybacks, but I don't know if there are enough. Brewmaster has one, but does it matter at this point?
It is absolutely over. The Brewmaster alone, he can't do anything. Like, everything failed there. Cafeteria, they just panicked in the last fight. I think it would have been even worth and wise to drop maybe even 2 Rexes, but the Doom engaging against the Morphling without any follow-up, without waiting for the Enigma, without the positioning, that was just not worth it. So in the end, Willy, they're gonna win the game, and I really thought Cafeteria has this, but I don't know, some wrong decisions here and there, even if it's just a second too early engaging in a fight, this can decide such a late game. But it was an amazing game. What a 4 from back, just, I don't know, in the enemy base, then push back after a fight, and the wrong hero dying, the one who doesn't have a buyback. That was, of course, really, really bad. That's last smoking made it possible. Either way, guys, this is a 2-game series. My name is HeflaTV, casting with me is Michael Lors, and we are back in about 5 minutes for game number 2. It was amazing, and hopefully the second one is going to be just like that. Be right back.
GG.